We are live. Welcome again. If you've been watching, welcome back to the 2025 Roller Derby World Cup hosted by the Fearless Bruisers here in Innsbruck, Austria. We are on game number 45 of this weekend here on the S1 track, and right now we're going to be looking at the Chinese Nations Roller Derby versus Team South Africa. I am Electra Blue.
I'm Knickmops. And welcome here. We're gonna first listen to the anthem of Chinese nations. They are skating around with beautiful fans. So that was Chinese Nations' anthem. I don't know if we have time to go through the roster before we start. Okay, so it's 121 Mac, 14 Puss, 17 Hippopotamus, 182 Mayhem, 2 Karen Bout Nothing, 297 Tranquilizer, 316 Punk, 377 Lexiguination, 48 Brute, 493 Aether, 514 Firefly Spirit, 79 The Troubadour, 852 Maple Bitch Lap, 86 Made in China, 999 Lammy. Do you want to read us?
Looks like the South Africa is doing their thing. So we have 000 Booty Queen, 001 Bug Off, 012 Bully Beef, 1111 Catalyst, 231 Zellfire, 333 Shabam, 360 Defibrillator, 44 Susie Quattro, 5 Block Nez Monster, the Captain, 508 Slamela Anderson, 666 Diablo, 677 Sami Slam, 8008 Calculator, number 917 Iron Tyrant, and number 94 BB Skate. We're about 2 minutes 50 seconds.
Yeah, let me tell you. Oh, we're having the anthem for South Africa. I'm really loving the cultural celebration of the anthems here at the Roller Derby World Cup in 2025.
Yep, and some folks are just doing something else, like reading statements and all of that
Exactly.
too. So Chinese nations, this is the first time at the Roller Derby World Cup.
Exactly.
So of course, most of these folks are made up from teams in North America and England, South Africa. Also, you know, folks from all around making up these teams.
A diaspora team.
That's exactly diaspora teams. Yes, Chinese nations, 3 continents, North America and the UK apparently on their roster.
Yeah, they lost their game on day 1, was game 20 against West Indies. West Indies scored 257 and Chinese nation 85.
And then South Africa played Norway yesterday, also a loss. So both teams had a loss yesterday, so now skating against each other. And then actually Norway just lost to Italy, but West Indies won their game, so this should be interesting to see this matchup.
Exactly. So we have on the line 508 and 999. 508 for South Africa, 999 for the team in red, Chinese nations.
And that is Lammy, Iron Tyrant, and for South Africa, your lead jammer.
Iron Tyrant right behind, overtaking the lead jammer from South Africa, who is celebrating maybe a little bit too early of getting that first lead, and then Lammy just took over.
So the Chinese, they actually have the Chinese nations have a chant. In Mandarin, it's Zhariao, and in Cantonese, it's Gariao. It basically means pump it up. So if you from home, pump it up as much as you can. Let's, you know, put the spirit in through the interwebs here.
So we have Made in China for Chinese nations and BB Skates for Team South Africa. Made in China is through with the with the lead. BB Skates. Ooh, a little bit of a tumble there at the end of the pack.
A little tripod wall in front, but
first points are scored by Made in China. Great name when you play for Chinese nations.
It is. Okay, so I was having a little difficulty seeing what is meant to be the star for South Africa, but that is going to be a bit tricky because it's kind of not that visible.
A leaf of some sort. Tell us in the chat if what that is supposed to be, because we don't have that in our fun facts. Lexiguination for Chinese nations lining up at the WFTDI jam line next to jammer 4.
See, they might have been having trouble seeing that.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to
right?
see.
Yeah.
And they are off to the penalty box. It's bug off. I'm trying to keep it in my notes. So both jammers were off to the penalty box, so no lead can be established. So it's a 2-minute jam in jam 3 for Chinese nations versus South Africa.
Chinese nations recycled back to the pack there right now, trying to fight that tripod wall. Bug off also recycled.
Bug off in the back of the pack, while Lexiguination is in the front, pushing that 3 wall for South Africa. Not an easy feat, so it would seem. And then we have Bug off on the outside line, being recycled by number 4-8 from Chinese nations. And Lexiguination is through on first scoring pass.
So again, no lead jammer. We're going to go the full 2 minutes.
Bug off has the star in hand, but is in the back of the pack, and the pivot for South Africa is waiting to bridge.
It's a big bridge right there. They have to let her go all the way about 30 feet, actually, but 4 more points for Chinese nations.
Lexiguination coming around.
Oh, we have a star pass here now. Iron Tyrant now taking the star for Team South Africa. Your jammer before, so they're doing double duty, jammer pivot.
And as mentioned before, no lead, so this will be a 2-minute jam, so both teams will be able to score points. For now, Chinese nations is taking up most of that, most of the win for that. Iron Tyrant working being recycled and working the wall from Chinese nations.
All right, there's the whistle. That was another, looks like, oh, no points on that last pass. Team South Africa sneaking in 3 points there. So now 3 points South Africa, 12 for Chinese nations.
First points are on the board. So as mentioned before, Chinese nations is a diaspora team. So they actually met on Wednesday for the first time, many of those players. So that's it's amazing that they are already doing so well, getting to know each other on track. Now we have Maple Bitch Slap for Chinese nations against Slamela Anderson.
And your lead jammer, Slamela Anderson.
Yeah, second lead for South Africa, but this time they are not being overtaken for now by Maple Bitch Slap.
The pack racing a bit there, trying to force that call, and they did call, so 0-0. Oh no, sorry, snuck in Team South Africa.
2 points for Team South Africa, putting their total up to 5. And Mayhem is from Australia, and their friends are watching live from the chat. Must be very late there.
Well, I was told that, okay, so the Gis and vibes, I've tried really hard to speak this Dutch, but spirit or energy is the translation for that, and that's what their little motto is for South Africa. We have a track cut penalty on Firefly Spirit, so now we are going to have a power jam for South Africa, and that is BB Skate, the only one on the track for that.
And BB Skate pushing through, but it is Firefly. So we had a switcheroo of the jammers in the penalty box, and so Firefly only had to sit for a few seconds, is now through, but no lead since both jammers were have been into the penalty box for this jam, and so we're going for the full 2 minutes. Chinese nations, Firefly Spirit is on a scoring pass, while BB Skate is trying to complete that initial. Good hit here by number 4-8, but BB Skate is through.
BB Skate through, now on scoring pass. Again, Firefly Spirit, not the lead jammer. We are going to have a forearm penalty called on. That is number 917 for South Africa. Iron Tyrant, who you've seen out on here on the jam line as well.
We have a full wall now back for Chinese nations, and the jammer on track, pushing a 2-wall from the Team South Africa.
4 points for Chinese nations on this last pass.
Ooh, good hit there by one of the blockers from South Africa, pushing someone to the ground. Third scoring pass for Chinese nations completed. Firefly Spirit.
12 points so far. Team South Africa still looking for points on this jam. We have a couple folks in the penalty box, one from each team, so 3-on-3 in the pack.
Another stretched pack.
Yeah, these packs are getting very stretched out all the way from one turn to another, and the bridges are working hard to keep it together, but they have to finally let it go. We do have some points on the board now for Team South Africa. We got 4, now at 9. 16-point jam for Chinese nations. Big jam, 28 points now.
Yeah, it was more than what they had on the board starting this jam. So
yeah, that's right.
We have Lemmy lining up versus, I cannot really see the South Africa jammer yet.
Hopefully somebody can, because that helmet cover is definitely tricky.
Bug off again.
001 bug off. Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
That's from our producer Seth over here, handy. And our lead jammer is Bug Off. Yes.
Oof. Bug Off, not intimidated by Lemmy, who was doing jammer on jammer action, but Lemmy is quick. So Bug Off shouting to the jammers, to the blockers, to go for it.
And they're just racing the pack. Yeah, pack advantage was in favor of South Africa. Raced the pack a little bit, though, for Chinese nations, racing the pack a little bit to force that call. 3 points, though, for Team South Africa. Now at 12, 2 points for Chinese nations. I have a penalty tracker in front of me, but it's still sitting kind of empty, so maybe it's not being updated in
somebody
real
said
time.
it's not working, so...
Oh, okay, good times, good times.
Yeah, so
well,
we have no
hopefully
penalties for anyone.
That's right. No, exactly. Everybody's playing clean. So pack advantage now for South Africa, 4-on-3.
Made in China versus Zellfire. First jam for Zellfire, I believe.
It is the first jam for Zellfire. Right now, a 4-jammer rotation, actually 5-jammer rotation for each of these teams.
We have Chinese Nations jammer made in China in the box, so Zellfire making most of that scoring leads on this jam.
And you lead jam, but your pack advantage is for Chinese Nations. 2 blockers in the box for South Africa. So this Zellfire's got a little work to do all on her own out there.
Zellfire trying to take a whip from one of their blockers.
So Made in China coming out of the pack, star in hand on the first pass. So looking for points here.
Initial
Zellfire
completed.
Zellfire is the lead though.
And Chinese Nations are now having a full box. So we had a moment where people from South Africa had, or the team from South Africa had 2 people in the box, but now Chinese Nation has 2 in the box. So this will be a pack advantage for South Africa, who will start with 4 and their jammer.
That's correct. So eventually we will find we have a team timeout. So Crash Course helps busy roller derby athletes increase strength, endurance, and agility, conquer self-doubt, and create the habits of high performance to become all-stars and MVPs on the track and in life. Want to make 2-minute jams feel easy? Visit ChrissyCrash.com to download the free Off Skates Roller Derby Training Series. Life is a contact sport. Win! I like to say that last bit. And I do want to make 2-minute jams feel easy because I haven't skated in about 10 years, so it does not look easy out there. That is a lot of work.
Yeah, that is a lot of work, and you tend to become unfocused during those 2-minute jams. That's what mainly is the problem.
Especially like you said too, Chinese Nations roller derby meeting for the first time yesterday, so they have to actually learn how to skate together as a team within a day to go through these tournaments. So a few teams like that. Team Korea the same. I'm sure I can. I mean, there's probably plenty of others. We have 48 teams here or something.
Yeah, and you notice that many teams have different goals coming into this Roller Derby World Cup. You have people who, teams that really come for like a stage place or a medal, but then you have other teams like Chinese Nations who come here to celebrate their culture and finally play in a team where they are not the only player from Asian descent.
That's right. Yeah, many have minorities on their home league. So exactly. So look at that. We're barely back in play, and we have a lead jammer for South Africa. That is Slamela Anderson. Luxango Nation looking to try to put some points on, coming out of the box herself.
Ooh, going in with a lot of impact, scoring the 4 points, presumably. Yes. 3 points scored, so overtaking 1 player and 2 players, and then 1 person who was in the box. So 3 points for South Africa. The score on the board at this point is 34 for Chinese Nations and 18 for Team South Africa. And South Africa will, Chinese Nations will start with 1 blocker, their pivot in the box. It is Maple Bitch Slap versus BB Skate on the line. And it's BB Skate who is lead for Jam 9 coming around. And we have Maple Bitch Slap with the cover in hand, trying to really push all of the skaters from South Africa.
But leaving it wide open on the inside there for BB Skate. Her teammates doing a good job of trapping that blocker. So star in hand, through on the first pass for Maple Bitch Slap. But we're gonna, Team South Africa is gonna call it off. So
Team South Africa have 5 points for that jam. 2 points. Yeah, I was thinking the same, but I don't want to be the official on the stream. But we do have a box point also. So 6 points for Team South Africa, putting their total up to 24 scoreless jams for Chinese Nations, keeping their total up to 34. This is math that I like to do.
Oh yeah,
10
you
points.
can do that one.
Yeah,
exactly.
10 points differential.
Looks like we have an official review, so we'll figure out that in a second when one of our fellow house announcers can give us some information. So in the meantime, Vifa is a historic European skate brand crafting quality footwear since 1920 and producing roller skates since the 1950s. Proudly made in Europe, Vifa combines tradition with innovation right from their Vienna-based workshop. Vifa Skates. And how about Double Threat Skates, established in 2013, one of Europe's most trusted roller derby shops, owned by Kitty from London Roller Derby. Every single one of them working in the shop plays roller derby. We are cool, they say. They sound pretty cool. A lot of folks, a lot of vendors in the vendor village, a lot of team merchandise too.
Yeah, and a lot of people or brands that make stuff for roller derby really taking advantage of sponsoring this event. We will have information on what the official review is about in just a second. This gives us a time to watch at the beautiful uniforms that we have all around today. And we'll see what happens.
So Chinese Nations wants a review on the track cut call at the start of the jam. So we will see what happens there. So so far, South Africa leading with the lead jams. They have 6 leads so far. Chinese Nations only with 1.
But they had the huge scoring jams, must be, because they have 34 points.
Exactly. So that one, that one opportunity they did have, they definitely capitalized on it.
Yeah, and we had a couple of power jams and also jammers going in and out of the box at the same time. So that, that always adds to a little bit of a differential when you have 6 lead jams, but maybe not capitalize on that too much. We have Firefly Spirit versus Bug Off. Firefly Spirit for Chinese Nations and Bug Off for South Africa. Blocker in the box for South Africa and a blocker in the box for Chinese Nations. South Africa pushing in the front, trying to use their own blockers to pass, but Firefly Spirit is also there, being recycled by 012, excuse my language.
So again, Chinese Nations in the red, South Africa in the black. Oh, almost hanging on by a tippy toe, but having to be recycled now. Bug Off to the back of the pack, and we'll try again. Oh!
And lead for Firefly Spirit. So Firefly
second
Spirit,
lead.
Yeah, took advantage of that recycle to get lead, and then Bug Off is coming around. Bit of communication from the jammer between the jammers and the blockers, and they did score 1 point on that one, so good job.
That's right, speeding up the pack just at the end there to make Team South Africa work for a little bit, buying a little time for the Chinese Nations roller derby to squeeze that point in there.
And that's how you see that these people do know how to play derby, because the communication is always something you have to work on, but Chinese Nations have known each other for hours instead of days. So it's incredible to see that already they have that communication
hand
going.
Signals and all that fun stuff.
Exactly. Lemmy for Chinese Nations versus Zellfire from Team South Africa. Lemmy pushing in the front, trying to pass, but being recycled by one of the blockers for South Africa, while Zellfire takes that advantage and scoring leads. Lemmy is behind, and Lemmy is one to watch. Very, very quick on their skates. Around
the outside, I think, she did go out of bounds, but she figured it out and is recycling her own self back there to make sure she doesn't get that track cut.
Yeah, Lemmy was so quick that she caught the side.
Wow.
Yes.
Crazy skate move there, doing the side
surf.
The side surf, right? Surfing that line on the outside there for Chinese Nations roller derby, sneaking in 4 points and winning that jam.
Yeah, so even though they did not have lead, they did win that jam. So This is something that we have seen. So maybe South Africa underestimated a little bit what it would be to play Chinese Nations. So let's see what happens next. I think South Africa did wake up and are consistently getting more lead and a few more points. So let's see what happens for the next jam. It is lead for Made in China, though, from Chinese nations.
Power jam, too. So South African jammer for a back block penalty. The pivot now also going into the penalty box. So when the jammer goes out, there's no option to pass the star either.
Yeah, and
so
they still
Chinese
have
nations on all of it.
Yeah, and they still have to do initial for South Africa, while Made in China has already completed a first scoring pass, putting extra points on the board for Chinese nations. And now Slamla Anderson is back, pushing that wall from Chinese nation to the floor. But Made in China using the hole that was made for Slamla Anderson to really also complete that scoring pass without touching almost anyone.
So mayhem up front for Chinese nations as the head of that tripod formation there. Now the jammer released for South Africa, but Chinese nation's going to go ahead and call that off. Not a shabby run, 10 points for Chinese nations, 49 now. Team South Africa, 27. No points scored on that last round.
So correct me if I'm wrong to my producer, but I have the idea that when Chinese nations are able to score, that they can have the multiple scoring passes, while that Team South Africa is more of the 4 to maybe not even 4 points to 0.
They've had a few multiple, 34 points from 3 jams added up, so an 8-point jam, a 10-point jam, and then it looks like a 16-point jam was their big one.
So thank you, Seth, for correcting me on that one. And we have Lexico Nation going for the lead, while BB Skate fell through the pack. And getting a
track cut
of the
penalty for South Africa, so another power jam for Chinese nations. They did well with that last power jam, 4 points right now.
Yeah, and together with Lexico Nation, I also feel that the skill level of this jammer is really good, so they are really ready to give it all as a jammer. They did pick up a backblock penalty, or she did pick up a backblock penalty while on that scoring pass, so being brought to the box. And then we have another switch in the penalty box. I'm curious to know how many we have already had. I don't know if this is something that we can look up, because we've already had 3. I find that pretty much a lot.
Well, yeah, once one jammer goes in, all the focus is on the other jammer, things happen, right? It's going to be
exactly.
like that. Yep.
BB Skate completing the initial pass, ready to score points. No lead will be, because lead was already closed, so another 2-minute jam.
That's right, a couple of those in this game, so the sneaking in there, another, looks like she missed one, so 3 points for South Africa.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, she ended out in the pack on one knee, so when you're down, you cannot have that point of the skater. And then we already have 8 points on the board for Lexico Nation, 3 points, and another 4 points added, so 7 for Team South Africa. But Lexico Nation is 1 lap ahead and is already on their 4th scoring pass, while we have BB Skate only on the 2nd. Or the 3rd.
Right. Oh, yeah. Able to get all 4 points. Another 2 sneaked in for South Africa. Big jam, the second 16-point jam the Chinese nations. Roller derby has now at 65 points. 9 points scored for Team South Africa, now at 36.
Yeah, and we will have Maple Bitch Slap for the next one and Bug Off for Team South Africa. They have a little banter on the WFTDI jam line going. That's derby for you.
That is
bit of a quick start, but no harm done.
Pack is at turn 1.
According
to the referee.
Power jam for Chinese nations. Chinese nation bled 1 blocker to the box, though. Maple Bitch Slap still on initial. Excuse me. Bit of a tumble there by 2 blockers in the back of the pack. But Maple Bitch Slap still working on that wall. Ooh, tiptoeing around the outside and managing almost to skate out and have lead, but no such luck, because there was number 5.
That's, Blockness Monster, the captain for South Africa, just saying, you know what, why don't you just hang it out here for a second?
Yeah.
I'm going to kill this time clock. Looks like the jammer is going to rejoin the pack for South Africa, so good job on that penalty kill.
And then Bug Off is back again, also on initial. So we have both jammers still on initial. Only Maple Bitch Lap it can have lead in this jam though, because Bug Off had 60 seconds in the Sisu penalty box.
Yep, that's right. So South Africa through on scoring pass now. Maple Bitch Slap now. Oh, we have a star pass now. So we have
first star
Matt.
pass.
Yep. Mac taking over the star, so we're going to go the rest of this jam, the natural conclusion, which is just about 20-something seconds.
Yeah, the star pass was not
nice apex.
We had an apex jump while I was saying that the star pass was not completed, and the pivot is off to the box. So we have 2 blockers for Chinese nations in the box, 1 for South Africa. I do feel we are in a pretty penalty-heavy game. And it's going pretty fast. So Maple Bitch Slap still on initial, I think. No initial is being sent. And then we have a multiple scoring pass for Team South Africa.
That's their biggest jam so far with 12 points. So they're looking for the little bit of a comeback, closing that gap a little bit. A little harder math. This is a 17-point game.
And I don't know about you, but I feel that the team that can get the penalty count down will be the team that comes out victorious.
Yeah, they're trying to still get, I think all of these tracks are a little bit different. This is sport court, so, getting your wheels, getting your grip going. So it takes a little while, but
adapting to the officials' crew is also something I think that sometimes they use a different metric, like what you feel is a forearms might not be a forearms or the other way around, so that might be tricky sometimes to adapt to. In the meantime, we have Firefly Spirits for Chinese nations and Zellfire for Team South Africa. No lead is, so lead is still open. The Zellfire's in the box.
Now just has to get by. Booty Queen is the last line of defense up there. Now 2 other players joining.
So Chinese nations still on trying to get that lead status, while Zellfire is already standing.
But we have our lead, and it's Firefly Spirit. So Booty Queen now to the penalty box, probably.
And Zellfire has to do initial still. So and then South Africa is bleeding a lot of blockers to the box. So in the Sisu penalty box at this moment, there are 2 blockers for South Africa, while Chinese nations have a full pack on the track. And Firefly Spirit did complete their first initial pass, so 4 points on the board. Star pass for Team South Africa to number 917.
That is Iron Tyrant.
Iron Tyrant.
Another jammer on the team too, so they're going back and forth between jammers and pivots quite a bit on Team South Africa.
Yeah, well, I feel that most teams at this moment make people choose by jamming or blocking. But some teams do prefer to have a mix and have the pivots sometimes jam as well.
That's right, back and forth. Get that, getting used to that. Everybody's a little bit different. Looks like our see-through mouth guard box is empty. Wow, that's up. So we have we have one standing.
We have one standing.
So
Someone
less
is
than
saying
10 seconds.
I'm sorry. Someone is saying in the chat, "Made in China" is an excellent derby name, and I cannot agree more. I love that derby name. If we had an award for derby names, that one would be in my list.
And a contender for sure.
Yeah.
So far, Jammer's having a little penalty trouble for both teams, actually. Chinese nations at 4, South Africa with 6.
Yeah, and we have a team timeout called for Team South Africa, if I'm not mistaken. And we have the official dancing for it, so that's great. I want to say we have a Skate Good Club, roller derby uniforms that work as hard as you do, with 4 different uniform options and 6 different lengths. Skate Good guarantees everyone will feel comfortable on the track. Skate good, look good. Learn more at skategoodclub.com.
Again, so the pump it up chant in Mandarin Zhao Yao and Cantonese Gao Yao.
Your Chinese is perfect in my ears.
I looked at the
it's Mandarin, by the way. I don't think
there's Mandarin and Cantonese pronunciations on their little fun fact sheet that they gave us. So I love these fun facts. Chinese nations, a lot of folks from Rose City, London, Rock and Rollers, Rat City, all over the place. But right now, Lammy and Slemmel Anderson are wearing their respective stars. Lead gem, Lammy.
And smiling, and rightfully so. That was beautifully done. So lead, and we have the pack speeding up. So some people, some blockers are being picked off to catch the points, and Lammy did manage to pass 3 blockers and scored the 3 points for Chinese Nations Roller Derby, putting their total up to 76. And Team South Africa 48.
Chinese Nations doing a good job of racing that pack and really making sure that their jammer got the points in, making it hard for BB Skate to get any points in.
BB Skate is on the track now, so I would be in doubt that that was BB Skate, but I don't know who it was. I forgot. I immediately forget after. So now we have BB Skate and Made in China, everybody's favorite derby name, or your favorite derby name's favorite derby name on the track, pushing in the front of the pack.
So Iron Tyrant right there up front. Oh, lead jammer for South Africa, BB Skate.
Made in China with the star in hand, and pushes through.
Just pushed through easily right there, but already around the pack and looking for points. Oh, knocked out by number 48. That is Brute, with brute force as well to the outside.
Exactly. And it's 3-0 on that gem, and I feel that that is a little bit the consistency that we're going for. So not even the 4 points on the board, but even 3. And even though the score might not look it that way at this moment, these teams are pretty even.
So it looks like pack advantage now for South Africa. 1 skater in the penalty box. I wish this little penalty tracker thingy worked, but we'll just have to figure it all out at the end and give you a recap in between.
Yeah, we'll just have to say there are awesome penalties. Bug off for Team South Africa versus Lexicon who is pushing the front of the pack for Chinese Nations Roller Derby.
She is lead jam, but she has to go recycle to the back. So
yes.
First pass for South Africa for Bug off.
And then we have 2 blockers in the box for Chinese Nations Roller Derby, 1 blocker in the box for Team South Africa.
Pivot, actually.
And it's the pivot as well. And Lexicon Nation going around, ready for a first scoring pass. And Bug off with a cut of the track penalty sent to the penalty box.
Oh, interesting. That was Mac that sent Bug off out, but I thought that Mac also went out of bounds, but the refs obviously see things a little bit closer than me.
And they know what they're doing.
They sure do know what they're doing.
So a micro pack on track at the moment. We have people dripping back in on the track to complete the lineup. But the Bug off for Team South Africa is still in the box. Lexicon Nation being recycled by number 666 from Diablo from Team South Africa.
And South Africa absorbing and trying to kill that penalty.
Yeah, so if they can keep it together and not have everyone in the box, when they are together, they are really, really strong and able to keep those good jammers from Chinese Roller Derby Nation. Chinese Nation Roller Derby, I'm sorry. Too many words.
4 points for South Africa, matched by another 4 12-point gems so far for Chinese Nations. As oh, now Bug off taken out again. That is Mac again, really putting the hurt on the jammer for South Africa.
And a little bit of a tumble here right in front of us. Jammer being recycled, someone off to the box.
That is number 44, that's Susie Quattro.
I believe it was illegal contact.
Legal contact, yeah.
We have the refs, or officials talking to each other here on the end line. 0 points for that final pass. 12 points scored for Chinese Nations Roller Derby, 8 points for Team South Africa. And although they were coming closer, these kinds of jams make it harder for Team South Africa to catch up. 88 for Chinese Nations Roller Derby and 60 for Team South Africa. We have Maple Bitch Slap versus Zellfire.
Oh, nice on the inside there.
I see so many people falling in that corner. I feel like if there's a spill, someone should really clean that up.
That's right. And clean up in turn one, please. Clean up in turn one.
Yeah, exactly.
Zellfire coming through on scoring pass now. Looking for that inside line. 2 players released, so full complement of skaters on the track.
Maple Bitch Lab had this cover in hand, and I saw that they were ready for the star pass, but no initial because we had the call off of that jam. 4 points on the board for Team South Africa.
So still within reach here, 24-point game so far. We have about 1:20 left in this period. That sure went fast. Wow, these jams just go so quickly, and the skaters just, like, this game is very fast.
Yeah. I have a theory as well that if by the first period nobody has 100 points, it's a hard game.
That's right. Lead jammer goes to BB Skate. Firefly Spirit's your jammer for Chinese Nation.
And she's happy about it.
She's pretty happy about it. She's doing that little dance. What is it? The Spirit Geesten vibes. My Dutch is not great, but that's what
it's Afrikaans probably.
Yes.
Yeah. I would probably be able to read it if I can see the word.
It's pronounced
Geesten vibes.
Geesten vibes, close enough. Spirit energy, but anyway, pumping the fist, getting the energy.
If someone can tell me if in Afrikaans they do a hard G or a soft G, I could maybe pronounce it. I'm Dutch, so.
Oh, well, there you go.
Or I'm not Dutch, but I speak Dutch. And low multiple scoring pass for Team South Africa. Great pass there on 1 foot by the jammer for Team South Africa, putting their total up to 12 points for this jam and 0 for Chinese Nations. And it's 88 versus 76 for Team South Africa. We have lining up Lammy, but we are going to intermission.
Intermission. So we ended up with 88 for Chinese Nations, a 12-point jam. This also matching the other highest score, 76 Team South Africa. We have a little under 15 minutes left for our intermission.
Yeah, so thank you for joining us here at the S1 track for the game from Chinese Nations versus Team South Africa. Go to the toilet, grab a drink, and then return, please.
And then give us some messages. We're all, you have a shout out. Anybody watching from home, anything you want us to say. We're watching our monitor over here for fun stuff to talk about, so bring it on.
So see you in a bit.
Hey, I'm Scald Eagle, and I wear the S1 Lifer helmet with medium Terry liners. When I'm hitting the track, the last thing I want to be thinking about is how my gear is fitting. My S1 derby gear is just set to jet. I can't live without it. S1, protecting roller derby since 2006.
First rule of Sisu is, wearing a mouth guard is cool. Say the word. Sisu! Second rule of Sisu is, use a thin mouth guard, not a big old gummy one. Say the word. Sisu! Third rule, pick your Sisu style. Fourth rule, talk, breathe, drink, easily. Sisu, Sisu, Sisu! The final rule of Sisu is, unlike others, you got up to 20 times to reload it. Who's got Sisu? Sisu!
They call it a sport, but we know better. It's a symphony of dedication, grit, and heart. Tuned to one another in a composition of chaos on a stage built for progress. Athlete-driven innovation from the first whistle to the final score. Every hit, every fall, every win, every loss, every team, every season, everybody. We've got you covered.
Okay, so again, we are here at the 2025 Roller Derby World Cup hosted by the Fearless Bruisers in Innsbruck, Austria. We're watching the second half now of game number 45. We have Chinese Nations Roller Derby and Team South Africa. We've seen a little bit of action right now, 88 points for Chinese Nation, Team South Africa going back and forth. A few penalty troubles for both teams. Chinese Nation sitting at 21 penalties, South Africa at 25. Couple folks with some penalty trouble.
Yeah, so we have 48 for Chinese Nations on 4 penalties and 917 also on 4 penalties for South Africa. Those two players really have to watch out.
And jammer penalties, South Africa has 7 of them, Chinese Nations at 4. We've had a couple of big jams from Chinese Nations, 2 16-point jams, one 12 and one 10. South Africa's largest jam was a 12-point. They've had a couple of those. Both of those big scoring jams were with power jams. As I mentioned, the jammers having little penalty trouble from both teams, but specifically, more particularly South Africa. So let's see what happens the second half. It's a very close game, only 12 points. Anything can happen.
Exactly, and as we were saying, the first half, I do feel that the one who gets the penalties under control most will probably become the winner. You can see it as on the board as right now. So although it's pretty equally divided, Chinese Nation has 21 and South Africa has 25. So that's maybe what the point differential is made up from. So for this next jam, we have Lammy versus BB Skate. Lammy for Chinese Nations with the lead quite quickly. BB Skate still stuck behind the wall of Chinese Nations. I want to say Chinese wall, but that's probably not allowed. And then Lammy making quick work of that first scoring pass.
Both packs reforming.
Pushing through. Oh, nice.
All right, so quick 4 points on the board. Jammer 92. 8 points, yes. 96. They were slow giving me that
Lammy
update.
is such a quick jammer that it seems that she can do 2 scoring passes when another jammer can do only 1.
Well, that's exactly what did happen, though,
Yeah.
so frankly. Yep.
So next up is Made in China and Bug Off.
And the pack moving back down to the jammer line.
Point differential at this moment is 20 points, and Bug Off with the lead, while Made in China is stuck behind South Africa, star in hand at the moment.
That's right, just Booty Queen at the front there, and a couple of other blockers to get by, but South Africa jammer Bug Off through for 4.
The pivot and the jammer working together to get that star pass going, but it did create a little bit of chaos in the Chinese Nations wall while they now have trouble finding each other again on track.
Chinese Nations lost Mayhem to the box, and there's another player, looks like Booty Queen is in the box for South Africa. So another 4 on the pass. Oh, it looks like we have a penalty here, a high block penalty. I haven't seen a lot of those with the jammer, so another power jam for Mac.
But it's not going to be a power jam for long because the pivot turn jammer is also off to the penalty box for a forearms penalty. So while
star pass?
Yeah, and we have 3 blockers in the box for South Africa. No, 2 blockers and the jammer in the box for South Africa. And Chinese Nations, a blocker returning, ready to catch the Bug Off, but Bug Off slipped in through the inside line there.
Well, Bug Off with a little assist from Booty Queen. Did you see she was kind of hiding behind there to get that little inside line?
And Bug Off on the outside line, also completing the initial pass for Chinese Nations, while Bug Off is already on a 4th scoring pass, completing a 4th scoring pass. Mac going in.
16 points so far for Bug Off. This is the biggest scoring jam that they've had so far for South Africa.
Both teams having trouble finding each other on track while their jammers are doing laps upon laps.
Another 4 for Bug Off, so bringing that to 20 points. That's the biggest jam we've seen in this game so far.
Yeah, and it brings Chinese Nations over the centennial mark. 108 for Chinese Nations with a 12-point jam. Team South Africa 20 points, bringing their total up to 96. This is a point differential that you can count yourself at home. 12 points.
There you go. Well done.
Excellent,
excellent job. Again, we had some jammer penalty trouble in the first half. We've already seen some jammer penalty trouble in the second half. They need to get that under control a little bit for both teams.
So, Execution with the lead for Chinese Nations. And we have Zellfire on the track for Team South Africa with the star in hand looking for their pivot.
Penalty for South Africa. So pack advantage for Chinese Nations right now.
Yeah, the star pass, and the jammer is off to the box. So power jam for the Execution. And I feel that South Africa has a little bit of trouble of reforming their wall, so they tend to be really scattered. They try, but even now they have time to set up, but still it's difficult to do.
Sanguination looking for that inside line, picks up another 4.
Shabam,
Shabam, yes, back in the pack.
Execution also on another scoring pass, pulling down one of her own skaters.
Okay, so the South Africa jammer about to re-enter the pack now at the back of turn 4, but 4 points for Sanguination.
Sisu penalty box is empty, and while I say it,
Track.
jam.
You may have jinxed it a little bit. Track cut penalty for Zellfire.
Those seats are not getting cold in the Sisu penalty box.
That is right. They are making their money over at Sisu Mouth Guards.
This is so sad. Team South Africa had a 20-point jams before, and now they had a 0-point jam, no initial. All the while Chinese Nations Roller Derby has a 16-point jam. So we didn't have a lead change yet, because every time that South Africa comes close, they kind of lose their momentum a little bit. And it will be a power start for Chinese Nations.
That's right. Power start as the pack goes back down to the WFTDI jam line for their start.
Maple bitch slap for Chinese Nations, and Zellfire starting from the box for South Africa's. Lead is still open. Both jammers can still get lead.
Defibrillator and Iron Tyrant up there trying to get that wall. Booty Queen joining them. Last push through Booty Queen.
Lead for Maple, bitch slap.
And they had to let her go. That pack getting spread out again, which we've seen quite a bit. Pivot going to the box, and that is Mac for Chinese Nations.
Zellfire returning from the penalty box, the Sisu penalty box.
Booty Queen trying to knock out Maple bitch slap, not to happen though, but we do have a star pass for South Africa.
To Iron Tyrant. We had a bit of a fall there, and then no pack. For defense for Team South Africa. Iron Tyrant trying to push, scoring 3 points on that final jam.
That's right, not calling it off quite quick enough. And Team South Africa just teetering on the century mark, 99 points, 3-point jam, 4-point jam for Chinese Nations. Now at 1:31, we're about to go into jam number 5 and 23 minutes and some change left on the clock.
I feel that was a lot of work for 4 points and 3 points.
It really was, for a 1-point gain.
Yeah.
Not much though.
We have Firefly Spirits for Chinese Nations and BB Skate for Team South Africa. Firefly Spirit being recycled.
That's right. Oh, on the inside line, lead jammer.
Using that space that was given. And we have the BB Skate in the penalty box.
So
Sisu penalty box is busy.
Busy with the jammers. That's another power jam for Chinese Nations. Let's see if they can capitalize on it.
Firefly Spirit stuck behind the last blocker standing for Team South Africa. Team South Africa bleeding another blocker to the box, but Zellfire is on track. The cover is not in their hands, so
we
someone
lost.
else.
We have a South Africa player rejoining, but one went back into the penalty box, having a little trouble in this penalties. Another power jam. We have a forearm penalty on number 94, BB Skate.
Can someone tell me how many penalties that has already been by the jammers of South Africa? Because it has been
We've
a
had
lot.
5 already. Just this, I mean, two penalties in just this last jam, 2 penalties in the second jam.
In 9 minutes, we've been in this period.
That's right. Jammers getting in a little bit of trouble there. I think they've got to work on that one a little bit coming out of into the second half. So 10-point jam for Chinese Nations now at 141, still 99 for South Africa. So again, yes, 5 jammer penalties already in 5 jams, and 2 of them in jam 3 and 2 of them in jam 5. So came out of the box, went right back in again.
Yeah, so that's a lot. We have Lemmy for Chinese Nations and BB Skate for South Africa.
In a power jam, power start. Oh, look at that, just like that, lead jam for Lemmy.
And Lemmy is so happy. That's so nice to see. Happy with the lead.
I think this whole team is very happy. They always seem to be cheering quite a bit. I mean, again, like you said, a forearm penalty called on. That is a blocker 666. Diablo.
And Lemmy coming back, doing laps on laps. Very fast. We have a star pass for South Africa to Susie Quattro. First star pass for Susie Quattro, I believe.
And then I see a little motion for Lemmy telling her team just to keep going. She's going to keep going around because the star pass is going, and we've got a knock to the inside. That was 493 from Chinese Nations.
This is an interesting strategy to keep the clock running when a pivot is jamming, and it's sometimes very beneficial. And as you can see now, Suzy Quattro has a lot of trouble getting past the wall for Chinese nations, while Lammy is already on a 4th scoring pass.
That's right, the pack trying to reform right there. They're trying to eat the baby, as it were, or absorb the jammer in there. And the pack is in the middle of turn 1 and 2, so they do have to let her go. Lammy now another scoring pass for Chinese nations.
And then the setup for the offense is a little slow for Team South Africa, but then Lammy is also super quick.
Track cut penalty on the jammer for South Africa again, so a power jam again for Chinese nations, and Lammy in control. She's going to go ahead and call it off, try to buy some more time, have a power start on the next jam.
And a freeze, a pivot as a jammer in the box, in the Sisu penalty box at this moment is very, very interesting, because Chinese nation is running away from Team South Africa. We started with a very small point differential in the first half, and now the point differential is not just less than 60 points, so 59 points.
You did some good math
yeah,
there.
I did
again.
it. I did it.
Again, we talked about, so the Chinese nations and South Africa both losing their games yesterday. South Africa played Norway. 83 was their. Oh, we have a timeout, so let's do some reads here.
We have a Crash Course team timeout. Crash Course helps busy roller derby athletes increase strength, endurance, and agility, conquer self-doubt, and create the habits of high performance to become all-stars and MVPs on the track and in life. Want a custom training plan with accountability, skill, and footage reviews, nutrition strategies, and athlete mindset development curated by our knowledgeable team of coaches so you can level up this year? Visit ChrissyCrashCourse.com to apply now. Life is a contact sport. Win!
So like I was saying, so I don't know if you all have been paying attention, and we're doing this for this tournament structure, the Swiss format system. So you're taking the top tier teams and the bottom tier teams. They all played together yesterday. Both of these teams did not win their games yesterday.
And that earns them 0 points.
0 points,
and then the people or the teams that with 0 points play the other teams with 0 points.
So whoever wins this game will have a point, and they will go on to play another team with a similar point structure, and so on and so forth until we get to Sunday, where we weed out some folks.
So a power start for Made in China, who is hoppity-hoppeting there on the inside line, trying to not skate over fallen skaters, and has lead. Suzy Quattro standing up with the star in hand. This was a pivot turn jammer for South Africa.
Booty Queen again with a little knock. Looking to the ref, looks like
someone else got the penalty.
Someone else got the penalty. Yep, she thought that she might have it. That is 917, Iron Tyrant going to the penalty box.
Chinese nations really, Chinese nations is a team that really benefits from speed. And I think for Team South Africa, they are used to a slower game. That's what it feels like for me at this moment. We have Suzy Quattro pushing that wall. This was a pivot turn jammer.
Oh, I think that was a trip. I don't know if that was...
if it's not called, it was probably legal.
So it was an accident. It was an accident, but she got up quickly and already scored 4 points. So
maybe the initial contact was with the hip, and then... So Made in China is on the third scoring pass at the moment, and we have another star pass from Suzy Quattro to Iron Tyrant. Pivot turned jammer, ready to go score points. Forcing the call off, and I would think there were more points scored for Chinese nation.
Looks like 8. I don't think they're putting up any more,
no.
So 168 for Chinese nations.
So it's going to be 9.
9, okay, 169. Nice. For Chinese nations, Team South Africa at 101. We've got about 17 minutes left in this game. We have an official timeout right now, so we will find out what they are. Oh, they're just taking a timeout, not a review. Okay, so let us do pay some bills. Chaya Skates. Chaya, home of premium roller derby and roller skate products. Find them at powerslide.com. And how about Blood and Thunder, a roller derby inspired apparel brand since 2006? Go to bloodandthundermag.com for all the good stuff. And this broadcast is brought to you in part by TSG, the trusted brand in action sports protection. Whether you're jamming, blocking, or just rolling for fun, TSG gear has you covered. Explore helmets and pads designed for riders at our international website, rideTSG.com.
And while you were saying that Lexigation and Bug Off face each other at the WFTDI jam line, whoop, and we have a hit out, and Lexigation
track cut penalty, so
Yep.
we now have a power jam opportunity for South Africa. Let's see if they can capitalize on this. A little knock to the outside from Hippopotamus, doing the thing that she does.
3 points scored.
But track cut penalty for South Africa, so we're going to have a little jammer switcheroosies.
Yeah, I was a bit confused because the jam ref was doing the 3 points, but while they had the 3 points, they did a penalty, and so we don't know what happened now. Lexigation is now back on a scoring pass for Chinese Nation, struggling a little bit on the outside, taking the inside, being recycled by the team captain from South Africa.
Loch Ness Monster hitting the inside, and it looks like, oh, they did take a track cut penalty, so another power jam for South Africa and picking up 4 points.
And Bug Off has returned from the box and is now scoring points for Team South Africa. 4 points on the board already, and again on a second scoring pass in the beginning of the first corner.
Now the pack speeding up a little bit. Chinese Nation's trying to run that pack, try to kill that penalty for their jammer, but Bug Off is going to say, no, I'm shrugging that off, I'm picking up 4.
Lexigation is standing in the penalty box. Let's see if Team South Africa is ready. Oop, a little bit of a hop-ty-hop on the inside line, but they did land outside, having to return behind the final blocker. Lexigation is back already on a scoring pass.
And 4 more points for Bug Off, now 113. 12-point jam so far for South Africa, so they did a little bit of damage on that power jam, but matching another 4 for Chinese Nation, so 173 to 113. 60-point game. We like that. Easy math.
Easy math, that's what I'm going for.
Unlike this Swiss system, which eventually I think I'll figure out by the end of this tournament.
I can tell you a little bit. So we made 4 groups in the beginning of the tournament. Teams were asked to do a self-evaluation, and other people looked into the scoring and how the teams had performed before. And then they were put into 4 categories, and they played within those categories. Did they play 1 point? They would play to one other team within that category with 1 point or a little bit change. And then the 0-point games also within that category.
Lead jammer maple bitch slap. I think this is all explained actually on the roller derby on the website.
On the website, yeah.
It's all
and
it's all
Iron
there.
Tyrant has the star on. It's a pivot jamming for Team South Africa. We do have a call off. 2 people were on the floor, but they seem to be all right. They came up and laughed.
So Chinese Nation scored 88 points in the first half, already doubling that score, and we still have 13 and a half minutes left in that. So in this game, so coming out strong, really putting those points on the board for Chinese Nations. Team South Africa, a lot of penalty trouble, as we've seen.
Yes, Shamala Anderson for Team South Africa against Firefly Spirit for Chinese Nations, and it is lead for Firefly for Shamala Anderson. And she's happy about it.
Yeah, they need it. Star stash there, knocked to the inside. Now a recycle back to turn 1 for 514 jammers Firefly.
The cover of the jammer is off.
Oh, Chinese Nation saying that we have a power jam, so they know that they've lost to the South Africa jammer. So Firefly, the only jammer on the track right now, and scoring 8 jammer penalties for South Africa this half.
So it was a blocking to the head penalty. I was a little bit confused because the jammer cover was off, and then the jammer was doing a signal, and I was like, the jam ref was doing a signal. but this means that it was a blocking to the head or with the head. Now Firefly Spirit is the one scoring points for Chinese nations.
So Bully Beef taking a seat in the Sisu mouthguard penalty box for South Africa. Pack advantage now for Chinese nations.
And we have Shamla Anderson returning on a scoring pass. They will put on the cover.
Drop the helmet cover. We have no lead jam, so we're going to see the natural conclusion of this jam. So the full 2 minutes, as we lost our lead jammer status to the penalty box.
Yes, and Shamla Anderson making work of that scoring pass. A little bit of an ugly fall there.
Mac going to the penalty box for Chinese nation, so pack advantage now for South Africa as they finish out the last 14 seconds-ish of this jam.
And then Shamla Anderson completing that first scoring pass, 4 points on the board, while Firefly Spirit is already on a third scoring pass, putting 12 points on the board.
So 12 for Chinese nations, bringing them to 185, 4 points for Team South Africa, 11 minutes 20 left in this game. South Africa needs to get their jammer penalties under control. They have some team timeout. They have another team timeout. And actually, as I say that, it looks like someone is taking, oh no, we have an official review right now, so we will find out what that is all about. Okay. In the meantime, let's thank some of our sponsors. So Hypno Skates, experience premium Italian quad derby skates designed for comfort and performance. Visit hypno.it. And Skate Good Club guarantees everyone will feel comfortable on the track. Skate good, look good. Learn more at skategoodclub.com.
They also are here in the vendor village for the people who are watching from the hotel.
Why would you watch from the hotel when you got this big, beautiful former Olympic stadium? Apparently, Innsbruck, Austria hosted the Olympics in 1964 and 1976.
I've heard.
The Winter Olympics. I am not so good at winter, so I'm glad we're here in the summer, though. It is pretty darn hot. They're having a heat wave over here in Europe and all over Europe right now.
Yeah. You brought the heat from Texas.
That's right. It's 100-something degrees in Texas right now, too.
I cannot speak Fahrenheit.
It's hot.
It's hot.
I think 30.
It sounds hot.
37 is 100, I think, something like that with the Fahrenheit conversion.
Yeah. So we're gonna listen to what that official review was about, and I want to say I thank you for the people in the chat, keeping the chat alive amongst each other.
So Chinese nations looking for a back block penalty on South Africa's jammer, so they felt that needs to be taken care of. So we will see what happens with this official review.
Yeah, so far South Africa has not used an official review. I think both of them were asked by Chinese nations. We'll see. Right. I think it was no call stance.
Okay, so the no call stance, so they've used their review.
One of the announcers was shaking their head frantically, and that's the universal sign for no call stance.
No call stands.
We have a full pack.
Look at that.
The Sisu penalty box is empty. I'm going to celebrate now before it's too late. Lemmy versus BB Skates on the WFTDI jammer line. And it is Lemmy with the lead, quickly skating around. That's so quick. That's like, wow.
So Booty Queen heading up the wall, ready to take on the jammer for Chinese nations.
BB Skate being recycled by the blockers for Chinese nations. We had a bit of a fall there at the end.
Defibrillator trying to knock out the jammer, not quite there. Does get a penalty.
Illegal contact
penalty. So there we go. It did look kind of rough, I'm not going to lie.
Was a star pass there in the end to one of the pivots for Iron Tyrant. It was once again for South Africa, and they were being recycled, and I think Lemmy did not see that yet because they were still on initial, but Lemmy was already scoring points and called off the jams with 8 points on the board. 193 for Chinese nations and 120 for Team South Africa.
And just a little under 10 minutes left in this game as we go into gem number 12.
Oh, and this one's lead for Bug Off, but Electrification is close by.
And it looks like Chinese Nation likes to speed up that pack when they get lead for South Africa. So that's what's happening right now as they scream around the corner. Bugoff in control of this pack, trying to pick up some points.
But speed is Chinese Nation's friend.
It is their friend, and now they've just matched each other 4 for 4, so 0 net gain.
So we have made them as a pivot on the track for Chinese Nations. They did not get the start yet, but someone in the chat has told me that they are an incredible blocker and an incredible jammer as well. So maybe at some point we'll have the start pass.
Bugoff trying to get that apex jump. Mayhem knocking her back to the inside for the recycle, but Bugoff does pick up 4. Now they're matched each other 8-8. Which is an auspicious number in Chinese, by the way, the number 8. So, you know.
Let's get one more point on the board then.
You might see a lot of 8s in their numbers.
Oh, you said auspicious, and I thought it's a bad number.
No, it's a good number. It's a
good
lucky. So if you see 3 8s, for example, like 888, that's lucky.
Ah, learn something every day. One foot pass by Bugoff, putting 12 points on the board for Team South Africa. While this jam is still going, 8 points by Made in China have been made already.
And that was the Troubadour that took a penalty seat. So pack advantage for South Africa.
South Africa's ready to, they knew they passed one of the jammers who was out of bounds, so they scored only 3 points on that last scoring pass, but they were like, nah, I'm gonna take it. 12 points for Chinese Nation, 16 for Team South Africa, big jams.
Actually, they just took 1 away, so it's 15. So Bugoff was really just running that pack. She was the lead jammer. She had control of the pack, but decided just to keep running the line. And, you know, she does have a 3-point net gain from all that work.
Chinese Nations is on total for 205 points. Team South Africa, 135. Maple Bitch Slap versus Zellfire. Zellfire for Team South Africa, Maple Bitch Slap for Chinese Nations. Zellfire being recycled, Maple Bitch Slap stuck in that 4 wall of Chinese Nations. Of South Africa, sorry.
And the pack was getting a bit spread out. Referees say its pack is at turn 2. We've got 2 jammers battling for position. Booty Queen doing a little knock.
Great 2-wall there by Chinese Nations in the front. Sorry, I cannot catch your names really quickly, but incredible work.
So still no lead jammer, almost a minute into this jam as both players battling for position. We have a tripod in front, we have a tripod in back, we have a bridge from South Africa's pivot. As we go back into turn 4 here, still looking for a lead jammer for this particular jam. So I just hear lots of skates and things falling on the ground there. Oh, finally through, but not lead jammer.
Yeah, Zellfire also has the star in hand, so we will have no lead called.
It looks like she is trying to pass the helmet cover to her pivot. Looks like it was an incomplete pass, so we are going to continue with Zellfire as the jammer.
Yeah, and now in the Sisu penalty box, we have 1 blocker for South Africa and 1 blocker for Chinese Nations. 4 points on the board for Chinese Nations by Maple Bitch Slap.
Track cup penalty for 11-11. Catalyst for South Africa. 1 player for Team Chinese Nations. Also in the penalty box, so 3-on-3 in the pack right now.
I have just realized I talked to Lemmy at the merch stand for Chinese Nations. We just had a conversation earlier, and now I come to the realization that that has happened. Sorry.
5-point jam for Chinese Nations, sitting at 210. Team South Africa at 135. 5 minutes and few seconds left in this game. We've had 13 jams, but a couple long ones. It's a team timeout for South Africa. So let's go ahead and pay some bills. Villa Vu Art Vilavu.art is a small, local feminist creative art and fashion label. We want to contribute to a cosmopolitan, colorful, enlightened, equal, and tolerant society. We use fair, ecological, and recycled materials and products. That is Vilavu, Vilavu.art. Still a team hour. Let's do one more. For those folks at home, you should know Innsbruck Tourism wishes you an unforgettable stay. I've had an unforgettable stay during the roller derby tournament, Roller Derby World Cup 2025. Visit Innsbruck.info to explore what this urban alpine region has to offer. From world-class sports to sightseeing to rich history, Innsbruck has everything your heart desires, and it is beautiful here. I've heard the cable car experience is nice. I've heard going to the top of the ski jump is nice. I've seen a little bit of the downtown. A gilded roof building, lots of old-timey buildings. We don't have so many old-timey buildings in the United States, so it's always fun for me to, be a tourist.
Yeah, exactly. And in Europe, we have the tiny, uncomfortable streets, but, they're nice to walk on.
A lot of cobblestones. All
Lots
right,
of
here we go.
cobblestones, yeah.
Firefly Spirit for Chinese nations. BB Skate, your jammer for South Africa.
It's BB Skate with the lead, and Firefly Spirit looked like they were out, but they were not. They were on the inside of the track. And then we have BB Skate already on a scoring pass, while Firefly finally through the pack.
Direction of play penalty called on somebody. Yep, that was Chinese nations number 852, Maple. The pivot.
Pivot for Chinese nations is in the box. We also have a blocker for South Africa in the box at the moment in the Sisu penalty box. 4 points were scored for Team South Africa in that final jam. That was jam 14. We still have 4 minutes to go on this game.
So again, the winner gets 1 point, and then they get matched up with the same point scorer for tomorrow. And so we won't know that till the end of all of the games today. But we have our lead jammer. That is Lammy for Chinese nations.
Some fans from Lammy are also watching. I can see it through the diff score. What an incredible move by Lemmy there.
I didn't know she could fly, but apparently she can. But look at this, Chinese nations again running the pack to full breakneck speeds, making their own jammer work for, amazing apex jump. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, I keep looking down. I should not do that.
I know, you look down for 2 seconds. Slamma Anderson tried to put the kibosh on that, but not so much. I mean, she's just flying through the air. I think Lemmy likes to have the speed. I think it helps her fly.
Oh, yeah.
She's looking to her
bench
coach to want me to call it off, and she does. Wow, big jam for Chinese nations. 12 points, 8 for Team South Africa. Team South Africa now 147-223 for Chinese nations. 2 minutes and 47 seconds. Probably a couple more jams. Team South Africa has got a little work to do if they're going to try to catch up to this game. We have, again, penalty trouble, but they've cleaned it up a little bit in the last few jams, so with their jammer penalties. So 14 leads for each team.
And it's BB Skate with a quick lead versus Made in China. Made in China with the star in hand. Being pushed out, but the blocker was also out all the while. BB Skate is already on a scoring pass. Made in China initial pass being recycled.
So we have what looks like a power jam forearm penalty. Just as I said, they were good on their penalties. South Africa goes and gets another jammer penalty. So we have a power jam now going into the last couple minutes of this game.
Was a forearm penalty.
A track cut penalty, sorry.
Track cut penalty. Made in China being recycled. Bit of a penalty kill there by the blockers from South Africa.
See South Africa now controlling the pack, like you were saying before. They were having a little bit of trouble because Chinese nations in this instance would be speeding the pack up. Here, South Africa just stopping the pack completely, buying some time, which they've done. And BB Skate's back in, 4 points.
And BB Skate's already, this was a scoring pass for them. while it was just for Made in China, still initial.
We have no lead jam. Made in China looking at the clock. She looks like she's just going to run down that clock for that last 30 seconds, trying to knock down as much time on the, no, that's a smart play right here for Made in China. She's just looking at the jam clock, waiting and waiting and waiting. She's not going to try to enter that pack. No need. They have a lead right now. Again, the points do matter, though, for this tournament. The point spread as well, in addition to the win and loss.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to do the math on that.
Exactly. It does get complicated. See, again, look at this. Just excellent job clock watching. She's looking at that jam clock. She knows she only has a couple seconds. We don't have a lead. They're going to get one more jam. So time management, clock management, huge, huge, huge also. Good job on Chinese nations, really being very aware.
Yeah, and also, yeah, like, they don't need it at this point, so let's not make any let's not take any risks or make any penalties.
Exactly.
Just
right?
You're all tired. Some people will have jet lag within these teams. So very important.
An official review is happening right now, so we'll get the info on that.
It's an official review asked by South Africa.
So they're probably using it maybe as a timeout because I think they're out of timeouts.
No, they're not. They're huddling in the middle. So
they are huddling, but they're also the clock is stopping too. So anyway, we'll figure it all out in a second here. So S1 Helmet Company, durable, functional, stable. The S1 Pro knee pads are built for roller derby. S1 helmets and pads protecting roller derby since 2006. Go to s1helmets.com. So we do have a huddle. We have an official review. Do I have another few seconds? I can do another little read here. WFTDI. Start off every jam knowing you're covered with WFTDI insurance. WFTDI keeping you on track. www.wftdi.com.
Such a great atmosphere here this weekend, or 4 days. So it feels like, for me, it feels a little bit like a music festival.
Oh.
Because you have so many tracks and so you have to make a planning.
That's right.
In advance, like where am I going to go next?
There are 5 tracks here today for those who are listening at home. By day number 4, we will be down to 4 tracks.
But still quite a lot, so it's very important to yeah, I'm sorry.
South Africa looking for a forearm penalty. And a Chinese nations player on the inside line. So
dance
a lot
battle.
of cheering. That's a dance party over here right now while we wait for the outcome of that official review. Again, looking for a forearm penalty from South Africa on Chinese nations, which it did not stand, but it did stop the clock. So we're going to get another jam probably as well.
Do we know if the call stands? Because they seem to still be talking.
I just got the...
Yeah,
I just got the no. Yeah, I got the no from our producer over here, Seth, who had the hand signal. Yeah, he saw the hand signal before me. So official review winding down. Are they going to start again? Okay, so Lexanguination and Slamala Anderson, respectively, on the jammer line.
And then we also have one South African blocker that is a pivot in the box, together with one of Chinese nations blockers. And Chinese nations have these incredible fans when they sit in the Sisu penalty box. It's really fun to watch.
All right, so this will be the last jam. Period clock winding down with 5 seconds.
And Lexicon Nation fighting last blocker standing from South Africa.
Oh, we have a lead jammer, Lexanguin Nation.
And we have a busy Sisu penalty box with, again, Slamala Anderson in the box. So a power jam for Chinese nations.
Ending with a power jam. So she can call it off at any point now because the period is over, and she's going to go ahead and do that. She got the signal from her team. Official winner is the Chinese nations. Unofficial score right now is 231 to 155. Again, the point spread will be used in the calculation. So now Chinese nations has 1 win and 1 loss. South Africa has 0 wins. And the point spread will be used again to calculate who both of these teams will be playing tomorrow.
Yeah, so for me, this was a game that shows that not only is Derby a physical sport, it's also a mental sport.
That's
and
right.
you need to be able to keep yourself and your teammates out of that penalty box. Because these teams were quite equally divided, but because of the penalty count, Chinese nations benefited from those penalties that Team South Africa made.
So yeah, 17 penalties for the jammer for South Africa. I mean, that's huge. Seven jammer penalties for Chinese nations. So again, cleaning up those penalties for the jammer.
We're not saying it would be the only way, but it might help.
It would help a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, you need the jammer to score, right? So if they're in the box, that's not going to help. But Chinese nations doing a much better job in those power jams, putting those big points on the board to get that win. So
yeah, congratulations to Chinese nations, and thank you so much for joining us here in on the S1 track on the World Cup of 2025, hosted by the Fearless Bruisers here in Innsbruck. We have shown you Chinese nations versus South Africa, where Chinese nations came out on top. I have been Knick Mops.
And I am Electra Blue, and this is the last game on this track today. There you can probably, if you are on the stream, catch the last half hour on track 2 and 4. Otherwise, we'll see you here tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
8:30? No, 9? I don't even know.
At 9. At 9. Let's not make it earlier than it is.
I know, right? All right. Well, thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you on the flip side.
Bye.
Bye.